Hi, everybody. It's Sarah and Brenda. We are with the Wisconsin Telecommunicator Emergency Response Task Force. We both work for the Oak Creek and St. Francis Combined Dispatch Center in southeastern Wisconsin, soon to be adding South Milwaukee as well. I have been with the department for 15 years, supervising for 10. I'm currently on third shift. I joined WI-TERT in 2010, became a Southeast Regional Coordinator in 2015, and stepped into the role as State Coordinator in 2021.
And I'm Brenda. I'm the second shift dispatch supervisor here. I have been with the department for 23 years. I have been the Southeast Coordinator for Wisconsin for 2 years, supervisor for 2 years, and I believe I've been a TERT member for about 5.
So we are going to be periodically sharing some training topics with you and some tips and tricks that we picked up over the years. If there's anything that you'd ever like to see shared or covered, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We can be contacted via our Wisconsin Telecommunicator Emergency Response Task Force Facebook page or via email, which we'll share at the end of this training presentation.
So we're going to talk about more ICS forms. And ICS forms are important. They are there to help you, but there is a list that you can find with this link that I attached on the slide. They are fillable or they're printable, whichever you prefer. You can also find copies of completed forms. If you Google a form and type example, it'll give you an example of a filled out form. So today we're going to talk about the incident radio communications plan. This one is important when you have a very large scale incident and you have several communities responding to help you. You're going to have several different areas going on. Those counties that use MABUS, we know that in Wisconsin, there's 8 counties that don't practice MABUS. That does not mean that those counties won't come to help out. So they're still going to have to know what channels what. So a good example, the next slide here, is we have command on this channel. We have command Gold Star on this channel. And if you're familiar with MABUS, we have white, black, red, blue, gold, and they all stand for one thing, as well as if you have something going on over here, EMS needs their channel for this, EMS is going to have their channel. Fire needs their channel for this, they're going to have that channel.
Maybe the SWAT team on one. So different tactical channels are going to be coming into play. And when we have multiple agencies working on a large critical incident together, we need to find channels that we have in common so that we can all talk to each other.
It's very important that we can talk to each other. So talking to each other brings us into the next one, ICS 211. This is going to be the check-in form. And usually where do you check in?
At staging.
And how do you find where you need to check in? What's the first thing you look for?
The command post, which has the big green flashing light.
Look for the green lights.
So this form is most commonly used at staging. So if you were deployed there to assist the incident commander at staging, this will help you organize strike teams, task forces, and keep track of all your resources and everybody who is responding to the staging location.
As well as people who are responding, they're going to have special qualities that they're coming with. You might have a canine officer, you might have a crisis negotiator, drug recognition officer. We might have certain people we need to get together for a rescue task force.
What makes you special?
We're all special.
Yeah.
So here's a copy of a completed form, and it goes through and just shows you is like how you would fill it out. There's one area in particular that I noticed right away. How did this person get here? There are people that do respond in their personal vehicles, or they come in the agency vehicle. Well, that's important to know because if this incident is still growing, and if these vehicles are in a certain area, they get damaged, eventually that report's going to come out. But did they respond in their personal vehicle? Are we going to have to deal with their personal insurance, or are we going to have to deal with the city's insurance? There's a spot on this form so that it helps you keep track.
As well as time in and time out. So we're not keeping somebody for like 16 to 24 hours. making sure that they remain within their specific operational period.
Yeah, it actually helps you keep track of where they are. When they checked in, you can get them back. There is a second page to this form that it did not include on the slide, but it does have you list their name, the agency they're with, and very important, their contact information, maybe even how to contact their department. There are times when, we tell them, hey, you're gonna be on this channel. Their radio might not work, they didn't switch the channel, and those batteries don't last forever on those radios. So if you're trying to get a hold of that person and they're not answering, you gotta find them somehow, so you have multiple ways of trying to track that person down. We wanna make sure that we're keeping track of everybody who's coming to help us for this large incident. So,
I'm Sarah.
I'm Brenda.
Visit us on Facebook.